Hello students, today we are going to learn Social Science chapter number 1, which is very beautiful, also knowledgeable and also informative, and that is our glorious heritage. Really very beautiful, and this is the part 1, and that is why you will have to go for part 2 because it is a long chapter. So I have divided in part 1 and part 2. Now we will go for introduction. As we know that Asia is the largest continent in the term of area, and in the very beginning it is stated in the Vishnu Puran that Uttaram yat samudrasya himadrascheva dakshinam varsatad bharat nama bharti yatra sansati. Really, in even our Vishnu Puran, it is already mentioned that in the north side there is a big Himalaya, auspicious Himalaya, and as far as the location is concerned, area 7th rank, and in the population we stands as the second rank. So India is a land, pious land. It is also known as Bharatvarsh, Jambudvip, Aryavrat, Bharatkhand. So such type of the different names by which our country is recognized. So again you will have to memorize this name. The other name of the India are Bharatvarsh, Aryavrat, Bharatkhand and Jambudvip. And people right from the Indus Valley civilization had contributed something more and more with the passage of time to develop our culture. So our culture is great, and different scholars, artisans, sages, authors, writers, dramatists, musicians all have contributed to the growth of Indian culture. So culture makes differentiate us from the animals and other creatures. So we had make a great progress because of culture, and that is why great progress is also included in our culture. Now we will go for what actually the culture is. In simple definition, culture is a way of life. Culture is a way of life, and that is why, in other words, we can say it is the sum total of our habits, value, customs, drawing, traditions, and lifestyle of man. So whatever the habits we have, whatever the value, either moral or anything we have in our life, in our society, whichever the customs we have, whichever the rituals we have, whichever the skills we have, whatever the traditions we have, all these things are already interwoven in our lifestyle. All will be included in our culture. So we can say, in other words, it is a journey of human being from cave to home, or in other words we can say from cave to cradle. So because of culture, fine arts, religious customs, paintings, economic development, all this flourished, all this considered as a part of the culture. So in other words we can say culture is a lifestyle of a particular group of people at a particular time. Today our culture is totally changed. Maybe possible if we just peeped into the past, our culture you will find totally different, because culture is a changing thing. With the passage of the time it will be changed. That is why culture can be changed with the particular time. So what is cultural heritage? Heritage is really valuable gift from our forefathers, from our ancestors to all of us. Indian history is thousands years of old. So that is why it is on our pledge we are telling, we are reciting, I love country and I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. So such type of the heritage we have two division. Which are these two division? One is the natural heritage and another is the cultural heritage. Because it is the India, it is the cultural heritage of India. From the ray of hope emerged, great thoughts were propagated, and it spreads all over the world. Which type of the thoughts? Realization of Sat, Chit and Anand. What actually the Sat? Sat means truth, Chit means concentration, and Anand means pleasure. So such type of the concept you will not find in any culture of the world. Now we will go for some of the characteristics of the Indian culture. Indian culture is an amalgamation. Amalgamation means the mixtures of the thoughts, mixtures of the different ideology, and we don't believe in war. We never propagated to any kind of the installation. That is why in our history we had never invaded on any country to capture any province or anything else. And that is why we are always treating each and every person with the equality, with the love, with the humanity to each and everyone in the world. So such type of the broad-mindedness you will not find in the any part of the world. And because this broad-mindedness assimilated other culture in it and molded in its own way, so we have accepted so many customs, so much rituals of the other cultures in our culture. So our culture is accepting each and everything. We are not too much shrinkage. We are not bound to a particular boundary. So such type of the facility, such type of the broadness in our culture you can find. Now the question is, which are the features of our culture or our heritage? Actually, what actually the heritage is? Whatever we have gained through our skill, through our intellectual, will be considered as the heritage. So here heritage can be divided in two divisions. One is natural, another is culture. Again, natural division can be divided in landscape, rivers, vegetation and wildlife. Now we will go for natural heritage of India. What is the natural heritage of the India? Because it includes mountains, forests, rills, streams, plains, insects, animals, seas, trees, forest. Each and everything will be considered as the natural heritage. In other words, we can say whatever is not made by the human being will be included in natural heritage. So the result of our close relationship between nature and environment and the human being is the natural heritage. So in ancient time we can see in different books, even Jatak Kathas, Panchatantra of Vishnu Sharma, you will find so many stories related to nature and natural heritage, which gives sermons to love the nature. And even because of the natural heritage we have medicinal treatment like Ayurveda, Unani, naturopathy, everything flourished in our country. So what a beautiful natural heritage we have. Now among them the first part is the landscape. Now what is the landscape? Whatever we can see, that can be considered as the landscape. Different shapes of the land can be considered as the landscape. So most beautiful landscape is the Himalaya. In Himalaya, you will find such type of the landscape in other such type of the part, like in some of the pilgrimage places like Badrinath, Amarnath, Kedarnath, and Nanda Devi. All are beautiful part of the Himalayas, beautiful part of the landscape. Even the forest of the Tarai, forest of the Tundra, everything will be included in beautiful landscape of the Himalaya. Now another is the river. Rivers are venerable to all of us. That is why we have given and we are addressing the river as Lok Mata. It is a big status to consider as the mother, because each and every civilization flourished near the river bank, especially the Indus Valley River civilization, Ravi, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Narmada. All these are the very beautiful rivers on which so many civilizations flourished. And because of the river, it was possible, because for electricity, domestic use of the water, and because of the river, waterways was possible in ancient time. So landscape seen near the river at the time of the dawn, even at the time of the dusk, very beautiful, and it can be considered as a source of the science for the inspiration. Now thereafter, the third point is the vegetation. People of India are environment lover since ancient times, and that is why we can see love, affection towards plants, towards trees, towards shrubs, flowers, everything, because the humans, animals, birds are always depending on trees, forest, land, because people and basil plant also are considered as the venerable plant. We are also worshipping them, and cereals, pulses, plants, green fields, and some of the herbs are using for the as a medicinal plant. And we can see because of the river, and thereafter because of the river, this vegetation plant flourished, and all these vegetation plant are very important. Thereafter we will go for the wildlife. Wildlife is very varied in our culture, and our culture is very prosperous with the wildlife. And we can see here lion, elephant, rhino, foxes, deer, sambar, rabbit, python, snake, mongoose, all this in our forest. So we have the variety of the wildlife and also birds, and we are also given a special place in our culture, and that is why these wild animals are the god or goddess's vehicle. We can see the snake with our Mahadev, Devadhidev, and tiger and the lion with our mother goddess Ambama, Vageshwarima. Peacock is associated as the vehicle of Kartikeji, mouse with Ganpati Dada, even the eagle with Vishnu Bhagwan, and so on. Because of wildlife, we are also getting the economic benefits, we are getting the leathers, and because of all these animals, we, for example, because of the dead elephant, tiger, lions, even the skin are very useful. So they are also providing a economical activity. So importance is too much are there. Now we will go for cultural heritage of India. Sometimes it will be asked in the short note, what is the cultural heritage of India? Whatever we have obtained with our skill, with our wisdom, with our wit, with our intelligence that will be considered as the cultural heritage of India. And so many ancient tribes like Aryans, Turks, Arabs, Mughals, Britishers, French, Kshatrap, Kushan, all these tribes are settled down in India, and thereafter they also mingled with it, and our sculpture art have been considered as 5,000 years old art. Even the architectural art is also 5,000 years old art. The remains of the Indus Valley civilization is an evidence of this. On seeing by peeing the remains of the figures of god and goddesses, humans, animals, and several toys, as well as sculptures of the beard man and the statue of a dancer, one feels self-esteem of such type of the big, our esteemed cultural heritage. Even we can see a figure of bullock or lion on an inverted lotus during the time of the Mauryan era, a statue of the Gautam Buddha in meditative form, even the Kalkhand statue of the Jain Tirthankars, the caves of the Ellora of Rashtrakuta dynasty, everything are included in our cultural heritage. You can see everything is here. Now we will go for some of the architectural monument like stupa, vihara, chaitya, temple, mosque. All this will be are an integral part of culture. In one of the topic is already there, cultural heritage of Gujarat. Really, Gujarat has the fabulous cultural heritage. That is why Lothal, Rangpur in Surendranagar, Dholavira, which is situated in Kutch district, Rojdi or Srinathgarh of Rajkot district, these places are very beautiful as far as the architecture is concerned. Then we can see the places of the pilgrimage in Gujarat. Here we can see the Victory Tower of Vadnagar, stone inscription you will find of King Ashoka at Junagadh, Sun Temple of Modhera, very beautiful one. And thereafter the gate of Champaner, Rudra Mahela of Siddhpur, Mansar Lake of Viramgam, Jama Masjid of Ahmedabad, Julta Minaret means Shaking Minaret of Ahmedabad, Sidi Syed Grill of Ahmedabad, temples of Hathi Singh, Sahasraling Lake of Patan, Raj Mahal of Vadodara, tomb of Mohabbat Khan, everything are very beautiful in our culture. Now we will go for very important topic, fairs of Gujarat. I will also give the separate video regarding that in Gujarati language, so it will be very easy for you. So fairs are part of our culture, and that is why we can see different names of the fair. You can see here Modhera Fair is always held at Modhera during the time of the third week of January. Thereafter Bahucharaji Fair is held at Bahucharaji of Mehsana during the time of Chaitra Sud Poonam. Samraji Thakurji Fair at Samraji of Aravali district, Kartik Sud 11 to Poonam. Bhadarvi Poonam Fair, Ambaji during the time of the Bhadarvi Poonam. Sometimes it will be asked regarding the fair which and where and when it is held. Bhavnath Fair at Girnar, obviously very beautiful Junagadh, during the time of the Magvad Nom to Baras. Tarnetar Fair, Tarnetar Trinetreswar Mahadev at Surendranagar, first week of Bhadarvapad. Thereafter, Bhadiyat Fair, Bhadiyat of Ahmedabad, then Naklang Fair, Kolyak, Bhavnagar, Bhadarwavad, Amas. Madhavpur Fair is held at Madhavpur during the time of the Chaitra Sud Nom to Teras. Vota Fair at Dholka. Thereafter, Miradatar Fair, Unava, Mehsana. Then Dang's Darbar Fair, which is held at Ahwa, and Gol Gadheda Fair, which is held at Garhada, Dahod, 5 to 7 days after Holi. Kartik Purnima Fair at Somnath, Gir, during the time of the Kartik Sud Poonam. Then Bhanguria Fair, Kwant, which is situated at Chota Udaipur from Holi to Rang Panchami. So I will also give the separate